Hello, Los Angeles Lakers fan. We're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates. First of all, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's crucial for you to stay informed with the news daily. Without further ado, let's get to the news. The news sent shockwaves across the world of Mexican football. A whisper, a rumor, a sudden spark that quickly turned into a wildfire. Evangelos Marinakis, the powerful Greek businessman and current owner of Premier League club Nottingham Forest and Greek giants Olympiacos, is reportedly negotiating the purchase of Club Deportivo Guadalajara. Yes, the legendary Chivas. For many, it felt like a bombshell dropped out of nowhere. But when you look closely, this move might be more than just rumor. It could be the first domino in a revolution that will change not only Liga MX, but perhaps the entire landscape of football in the Americas. Let's not sugarcoat it. Chivas is no ordinary club. It's not just one of the most historic institutions in Mexico. It's a symbol. With a policy of fielding only Mexican players, Chivas has always represented national pride, a cultural force that transcends football. To buy Chivas is not merely a business decision, it's a cultural gamble. But Marinakis is not the type to back away from big moves. This is the man who resurrected Olympiacos after years of turmoil and brought Nottingham Forest back to the Premier League after a 23-year absence. He knows how to shake structures, how to invest big, and more importantly, how to think globally. The idea of Marinakis entering the Mexican market isn't entirely random. Football in North America is on the rise. MLS has been growing in reputation and financial power. Liga MX remains one of the most passionate leagues in the world, but there's a lingering sense that it hasn't fully tapped into its potential. The infrastructure is there, the fans are there, the heritage is undeniable, but modernization, internationalization, and capital investment, that's where Marinakis comes in. According to insiders, the Greek tycoon has been studying the Liga MX model for over a year. He's intrigued by the potential of a league that is not only deeply rooted in tradition, but also sitting at the doorstep of the US market. Chivas, with its massive fan base, its iconic status, and its stronghold in one of the largest cities in North America, would be the perfect entry point. Rumors suggest that initial talks have already begun, with Marinakis reportedly sending legal and financial teams to explore the structure of the club and its feasibility under current league regulations. There's one crucial detail, though, that makes this entire operation both fascinating and incredibly complex. Chivas isn't owned by a single figure. It's under the umbrella of Grupo OmniLife, a company founded by Jorge Vergara and now managed by his widow, Angelica Fuentes, and their son, Amaury Vergara. Any negotiation involves not just business terms, but emotional weight. The Vergara family has become synonymous with Chivas, and the idea of selling the club, even partially, carries both cultural and ethical dilemmas. But sources close to the family indicate a growing willingness to listen. Not necessarily to give up full control, but to welcome an external partner who can inject capital, reshape the club's infrastructure, and above all, globalize the Chivas brand. Marinakis, with his experience in running clubs across Europe, and now England, is being seen as a serious candidate, not just because of his money, but because of his vision. What does Marinakis want? He's not just looking for another asset. He wants a project. He wants to elevate a club to a global platform, just like he's done before. With Olympiacos, he made them a regular presence in European competitions. With Nottingham Forest, he built a competitive squad and modernized the club's facilities. Chivas could be his crown jewel in Latin America. Sources suggest he sees Chivas as a sleeping giant, a brand that could rival the best of MLS and even attract talent from South America, Spain, and beyond. With the right investment, Chivas could become a true powerhouse, not only in Mexico, but internationally. Naturally, not everyone is on board. Traditionalists within Mexican football view the potential move with skepticism. There's fear that a foreign owner might try to scrap the club's long-standing policy of only signing Mexican players. While Marinakis hasn't made any public statements, those close to the negotiation are sure that respecting the club's identity is part of the deal. In fact, Marinakis is reportedly fascinated by that very element. the uniqueness of Chivas, the challenge of winning within those limitations, and the emotional connection with the fans. Beyond the footballing side, the implications are enormous. A foreign billionaire entering Liga MX could trigger a wave of international interest. More media coverage, more global exposure, more investment. Some clubs would welcome that shift, hoping for a domino effect that forces others to modernize. Others, particularly those rooted in traditional ownership models, would see it as a threat. But one thing is clear, if Marinakis buys Chivas, Mexican football will never be the same. Imagine the headlines. Marinakis walks into the Estadio Akron, shaking hands with Vergara, standing before a sea of red and white jerseys, promising to bring glory back to Guadalajara. It would be a spectacle. But beyond the cameras and press conferences lies a deeper ambition, a belief that Chivas can become a global brand, a club that can sell shirts in Asia, tour in Europe, and sign sponsorship deals with multinationals. In Marinakis' vision, Chivas could be more than a national giant. It could be a continental titan. This is not fantasy. This is football in the 21st century. Ownership is changing. The game is becoming globalized in ways we've never seen before. And for Chivas, the question now isn't just whether to sell, but what kind of future they want to build. With Marinakis, they're not just buying a new owner. They're buying into a new era, a new possibility, a new dream, and the clock is ticking. In the days that followed the rumor, the streets of Guadalajara buzzed with nervous speculation. On the radio, on television, and across countless Twitter threads and YouTube live streams, the name Marinakis dominated the conversation. Was this truly the moment Chivas would break away from its traditional mold and step into the chaotic arena of global football ownership? Would the club, long considered the bastion of Mexican identity, now find itself under the command of a Greek mogul whose ambitions stretched far beyond the borders of any single country? Inside the walls of the Estadio Akron, things weren't as chaotic as they appeared on the outside, but the tension was real. Meetings were happening, serious, methodical, high-level meetings. Lawyers from both parties, financial consultants, and executives from OmniLife were poring over contracts, examining assets, and calculating risks. The official line from the club remained vague, offering statements about the importance of strategic partnerships and international growth. But those on the inside knew what was at stake. This wasn't just about selling part of the club to a wealthy investor. This was about redefining what Chivas could be. Amaury Vergara, the current president, found himself at the heart of it all. The young executive, still bearing the weight of his father's legacy, had always spoken about his desire to modernize Chivas while remaining faithful to its soul. But modernizing a club like Chivas is a delicate dance. You can't rip up the past. You have to evolve with care, with respect. Yet there was something alluring about Marinakis' proposal. The Greek businessman wasn't offering a hostile takeover. He wanted to collaborate. He didn't want to erase the Chivas identity. He wanted to amplify it. Insiders claim that Marinakis made a promise early in negotiations. The Mexican-only policy would remain untouched. That, he said, was the club's essence. And far from being a limitation, it was an opportunity, a unique selling point on the world stage. While clubs across the globe scrambled to sign the same international stars, Chivas could build something rare and authentic. A team composed entirely of Mexican talent, backed by world-class facilities, European-style scouting networks, and the kind of media machine that Marinakis had perfected at Olympiacos and Nottingham Forest. For many fans, that was a key point. Because if there's one thing Chivas supporters will never tolerate, it's the erosion of their identity. They'll accept change. They'll accept foreign investment, even new board members. But the badge, the jersey, and the policy, that's sacred ground. Marinakis knew this. He wasn't just buying a club, he was inheriting a legacy. And his ability to navigate that cultural minefield could determine everything. Meanwhile, Liga MX itself was watching closely. The league has long operated with a curious mix of domestic passion and business conservatism. While clubs like Tigres and Monterrey have spent heavily and experimented with foreign influence, the league as a whole has been cautious about opening the doors to external ownership. But things are changing. The global market demands it. The success of the League's Cup, The rising attention on the MLS Liga MX rivalry and the growing number of young Mexican players being scouted by European clubs are all signs of a league in transition. If Marinakis successfully enters, others will follow. That's the unspoken truth. The arrival of a European owner with deep financial roots and global football connections could trigger a tidal wave. Investors from the Middle East, from Asia, from the United States, they're all watching. Chivas isn't just a club. It's a signal, a door. And if that door opens, there's no telling what the future of Liga MX might look like. Back in Greece, the media picked up the story with fascination. The idea of Marinakis owning a club in Mexico, of connecting Europe to Latin America through football, seemed like a madman's dream. But those who knew him weren't surprised. Evangelos Marinakis is not just a football owner. He's a strategist, a showman, a man who understands the soft power of sport. His move into English football was ridiculed at first, until Nottingham Forest climbed back to the Premier League. His reign at Olympiacos has seen the club lift trophy after trophy. And now, his eyes are set on a new continent. He reportedly sees Chivas not just as a team, but as a gateway, a base of operations in the Americas. From there, he could create connections with MLS, with South American academies, and even bring in Mexican broadcasting rights that feed back into his European networks. Think of preseason tours in the United States, youth tournaments that span 3 continents, merchandise campaigns that turn Chivas into a household name in Europe. It's not impossible. It's already happening elsewhere. And Marinakis believes Mexico is ripe for it. Of course, with all major transitions, there's resistance. Some former players have voiced concern. Legends of the club, men who built their careers wearing the red and white, have gone public warning about the dangers of foreign ownership. Be careful, they say. Don't sell your soul. Others, however, see opportunity. They believe Chivas needs to evolve, that the world is moving too fast to stay stuck in nostalgia. And if someone like Marinakis can bring infrastructure, innovation, and global relevance without breaking the spirit of the club, then maybe, just maybe, it's worth the risk. The next steps remain shrouded in silence. Official statements have slowed. Journalists are camped outside the club's offices, waiting for any clue, any comment, any whisper of progress. And the fans, they wait too. Some with hope, some with fear, all with the deep understanding that whatever happens in the coming weeks will define their club for a generation. In a way, this is about more than football. It's about identity, about how a club rooted in tradition can survive, evolve, and thrive in a globalized world. Can Chivas remain authentically Mexican while becoming globally relevant? Can a Greek businessman become a guardian of a Mexican treasure? And if he can, what does that say about the future of the game we all love? We may not have all the answers yet, but one thing is certain. The story of Marinakis and Chivas has only just begun, and the world is watching. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on. Austin Reaves has sent shockwaves through the Los Angeles Lakers camp with a bold public declaration. He will no longer accept sharing the court alongside Dalton KNECHT. In a candid and pointed statement, Reaves made it clear that the dynamic which once fueled the Lakers' backcourt chemistry has reached a breaking point, and he sees no path forward with KNECHT as his partner in purple and gold. Since arriving in Los Angeles, Reaves has established himself as a reliable clutch performer and floor general who thrives on ball movement and high IQ play. His emergence as a rising star last season, helping guide the Lakers to a deep playoff run, cemented his reputation as a leader who demands cohesion, discipline, and unselfishness from those around him. Dalton KNECHT, on the other hand, is a promising young guard known for his scoring prowess and fearless drives to the basket. Yet Reaves' comments suggest that KNECHT's style and approach have clashed repeatedly with the veteran's vision for how the team should operate. Challenges surfaced during organized practice sessions and preseason scrimmages, where Reaves grew increasingly frustrated by KNECHT's tendency to eschew organized sets in favor of individual heroics. Basketball is a team game, Reaves emphasized, and if you refuse to buy into the system, you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting the team. This tension has reportedly spilled over into weeks of closed-door meetings, film sessions, and conversations with coaching staff. but no resolution has been found. Head coach Darvin Ham now faces a delicate balancing act. How to harness the scoring talent of KNECT without undermining the cohesion that Reaves and the rest of the veteran leadership have fostered. Sources close to the team indicate that Ham has considered staggered rotations and lineup adjustments in an effort to minimize the friction. But such solutions may only serve as temporary bandages. Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka has also been drawn into the fray. Front office insiders suggest Pelinka is assessing trade options that could provide the team with a playmaker who complements Reaves' style, while still securing value in return. Yet any move involving KNECT would carry risk. As a youthful talent with a high ceiling, he remains an intriguing piece for contenders and rebuilding squads alike. Fans and analysts alike have taken to social media to weigh in. Some defend Reaves' leadership, insisting a focused, cohesive backcourt is non-negotiable for championship hopes. Others argue for patience, noting that chemistry often takes time to develop between players of contrasting temperaments. But amid the debate, one fact stands clear. The Lakers' backcourt future is suddenly clouded by uncertainty. As training camp approaches and the regular season looms, Los Angeles must navigate these internal fault lines. Will Reaves and KNECT find common ground before tip-off? Or will the Lakers be forced into a dramatic roster shakeup to preserve harmony? Whatever unfolds, Reaves' ambiguous ultimatum has ensured that this story will dominate headlines until it reaches its conclusion. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.